Well, hello and welcome to Talk Leadership with Cedrick. You know, everybody needs a little TLC, and I am Cedrick LaFleur, your host. I'm excited to be back with you again tonight. Today it is Valentine's Day, and I know that there are a lot of people out there that's out there celebrating Valentine's Day. So, first of all, happy Valentine's Day. Hopefully, you're having a great day. Hopefully, you have a great evening. Let me leave that alone. Just hopefully happy Valentine's Day. Let me keep on going. All right. So, but all seriousness, hey guys, enjoy yourself. Enjoy the day, the evening, dinner, whatever on your plans. But you know, I'm here tonight to talk with you and tell you a few things. And let me tell you a little bit about Talk Leadership with Cedrick. And then I'm going to tell you what we're going to talk about. You know, Talk Leadership with Cedrick is where we focus on leadership, personal growth with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. Our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. Now, our guiding leadership principle is the law of consistency, which says motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you going and growing. Now, you have to develop the good habits that lead to success, and just showing up is 80% of success. See, some people just don't show up. You can beat them out pretty easily by consistently showing up. You know, the boss, Bruce Springsteen himself said, a time comes when you have to stop being a man or the woman you want to become and start being the man or the woman you want to become. So tonight, folks, I'm talking about some stuff. There's two topics that I really want to talk about. It's just been on my mind. And I wanted to get it out here. You know, I coined the year 2022 is the year of no excuses. And people with high self-worth, they don't make excuses for things. So I want to talk with you about, I'm going to give you 4 thoughts about people with high self-worth, who have high self-worth and things that they do. And then on the back end of that, after I share those 4 things with you, I want to share with you how to stop seeking validation. Now, you know, we spend a whole lot of time, a lot of people spend a lot of time trying to be validated by other people. And I'm going to share with you tonight how to stop seeking this validation from external forces and other people and worrying about what they're saying about you and how you should feel and all this type of stuff. So I want to help you with that. And then we have the dietitian coming on the show tonight. It's the second Monday of the month, so it's Shatanya Chapman will be with us for Healthy Eating with Shatanya. So make sure on the back end of the show you stay tuned for that. Right about 45 minutes after the I'm sorry, not 45 minutes after the hour. Right around 15 minutes after the hour. So in Central Time is about 7:15. She'll come on and she has some great tips for us tonight, and we're gonna have a really good conversation. So make sure you tune in for that part, right? Now, let me talk with you about these 4 thoughts around people with high self-worth. Now, the most confident and happy people we know are the ones who have high self-worth. They value themselves and they value the things that they do. But how do they get that way? That's always the question, right? Are some people just born with a better sense of value? Hey, if you have a response to that, put it in the comments, put it in the chat. We'd like to hear what you think about that. Do some people, are they just born with a better sense of value? Or do they make it a practice of acting a certain way, you know, which helps them to keep that feeling positive and all the time, no matter what's going on. You see, one of the things that I do, people that know me, they know when people ask me, how am I doing? What am I going to say? I'm always great. You see, it doesn't matter what's happening, what's going on. I'm always great. I could be upset. I could have just had a failure, whatever it is. But when you ask me how am I doing, I'm going to tell you I'm always great. And so that's a mindset thing for me. I want to understand what other people think and how they feel in this area and what they think in this area, right? So, hey, Jackie, I see you out there. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Now, when you talk about people with high self-worth, you find that they have a lot of things in common. And They typically do, right? Those who feel good about themselves tend to think a certain way. They act a certain way. They walk a certain way. They have a certain confidence about themselves. It's not arrogance. It's confidence in who they are and their being, and they're comfortable with who they are. Now, let's look at a few of the ideas which keep people feeling worthy, even when life might be difficult. So I wrote these down, and I want to share them with you, and I'm going to pop them up on the screen as well so that you can get them. All right. And I think that they're really good, and you'll tell me if you think mine are good. So here's number one. Put it in the comments if you put a thumbs up or thumbs down if you agree with that. People with high self-worth, they understand where mistakes fit in the big plan. They understand where mistakes fit in a big plan. See, everyone messes up now and again, right? The person with high self-worth recognizes this. They take responsibility for their actions, and they understand that just because something went wrong, it doesn't change who they are as a person. They still value themselves even when they make a mistake. Now, tell me if you agree with that or you disagree. You can give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. You can give me a heart if you love it. You can give me a like if you like that. But people, number one, people who have a high self-worth, they understand where mistakes fit in a bigger plan. Now, let's go to number two. I really like number two. I think you will. So they don't get caught up in the trappings of life. They don't get caught up, right? Who you are has a whole lot less to do with what you have than what most people might think, right? It doesn't matter how much money is in their bank account, whether you are wearing the right clothes or if you have the right education. They're just happy with themselves. Thumbs up or thumbs down if you agree with that. Your value has a lot more to do with who you are inside than who you are on the outside. See? You can still be worthy. You can still feel worthy, even if you have a very little in the way of possessions or money. People who have high self-worth don't worry about that stuff. They could be broke as a joke, but they still, from a mindset perspective, they still feel good about themselves, their worth, their value, what they deliver, what they bring, what they offer. Tell me, do you agree or you disagree? I want to know. I want to understand. All right. Now, let's keep going. Number three. Number three is a really good one as well. They don't chase happiness. See, who you are has very little to do with whatever emotions you happen to be feeling in the moment. I'm always great, no matter what's happening, what's going on, right? If you're not happy, it does not mean that you're not that you're not worthy in a worthy period in your life, right? If you're going to feel, well, not if you're going to, but you're going to feel exactly the same, regardless if you have a failure or you have a success. It doesn't mean that you don't get excited, you don't get happy. Like the folks that won a Super Bowl last night, the Rams, right? They still feel good about themselves. The Cincinnati Bengals lost the game, but if they have a high self-worth, they still feel good about themselves today after that big loss. See, you're going to feel what you're going to feel. That just happens, right? You don't like losing. It doesn't mean you start feeling bad about yourself. Oh, we're not good. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not valuable. No, it doesn't mean that at all, right? Individuals with high self-worth realize that that's going to happen, and they accept that their emotions for what they are. They accept their emotions for what they are, right? It's a reflection of their emotional state and not of their personal value. So think about it. You lose a job. You don't get that contract that you want. Somebody tells you no. You still know that you can add value to another organization. You still know that you have personal value. You still know that you are good enough. You still know that you are ready. So when you have a high self-worth, top three things are: they understand where mistakes fit. They don't get caught up in the trappings of life. Number three is they don't chase happiness. Now let's go to number four. I told you these are going to be quick, right? So let's go to number four, because I really like number four as well, right? They take responsibility for how they feel. Uh-oh. Now that's that one right there. Some people might drop off, right? Now let's talk about this one a little bit, right? Put it in the comments. Tell me if you agree. People with high self-worth take responsibility for how they feel. They don't put it on someone else. Someone else made me mad. Someone else did this to me. Someone else has me depressed. No, if you have a high self-worth, you take responsibility for how you feel. When you have strong feelings of self-worth, you do not need other people to define you. Oh man, that's a really good one. This also means you don't need to drop you don't need to drop any victim mentality, right? They say no, and you get depressed, right? They say no one can make you feel anything without your permission. In other words, you're giving other people control over your mind. Now, are you going to do that? Say, I don't want somebody else controlling my mind. And when you get upset about something, if you get depressed about because someone else did something, you're letting them control your mind. Now, it may be true that happens sometimes, but you have to make sure that you realize it, and then you neutralize that, and then you flip the script. See, it's up to you to decide who you are. No one else has that right. You shouldn't give that up to somebody else, right? Tell me if you agree or disagree. You can put it in the comments. Now, of course, there are other things people with high self-worth do, right? They practice empathy, especially with themselves, right? They love their job. They set goals that make sense to them. It may not make sense to somebody else. Somebody else may not like it, but guess what? It's not their goal. It's not their dream. It wasn't given to them. It was given to you. So you don't worry about it. You just have to make sure that you focus on what works for you, right? I see you out there, Andre. Thanks for the comment. Hey, people with high self-worth, the common thread for them is they all love what they do, and they do what they love. They set goals for themselves. They do things that honor them. They don't make compromises or get caught up in doing what they think they should do, but instead they focus on what's right for them. Now, you see the difference? See, you can get caught up in what other people want me to do, what my mama want me to do, what my daddy want me to do. Hey, Damien, I see you. Hey, Natasha, I see you. Natasha, I see you. They don't get caught up in what other people want them to do. They do what's right for them. They don't worry about the outside forces of what someone else is going to think. Well, what are they going to think if I do this? What do they think if I'm going to go over here? What do they think? No, they don't care about that. People with high self-worth think about what's right for them, what they can do to add value to themselves, to their life, to their family, to others. And they don't worry about what other people think, what outside sources think. Now, it doesn't mean that you just run over people. It doesn't mean that at all. It means that you're secure in yourself. It means that you feel good about who you are. You've heard the words comfortable in their own skin. That means that's a person that has high self-worth. They don't walk on eggshells and worry about and toss and turn overnight about what's going to happen, what somebody else is thinking. There's some people that don't like that. Hey, we gonna pack up and move to the beach. We're not worried about what they're thinking. That's what we want to do. So that's what we're gonna do. You see, people with high self-worth, they understand that, and you can do this too by merely paying attention to your choices and hold fast to who you are. I'm going to say that again. You can do it too by merely paying attention to your choices and holding fast to who you are, holding fast to what it is you want, understanding your value to yourself, to your family, to the world. Feeling good about yourself. You don't need validation from external sources. It all comes from within. Now, I'm going to recap those 4 things, and then I'm going to move on to, the next part is what I really want to talk about is how, there's too many people seeking validation, right? And I want to, that's what I'm going to be sharing with you. The meat and potatoes of the call tonight is about sharing with you how to stop seeking validation. But let me round out these 4 thoughts on people with high self-worth and the things that they have, the qualities that they have. That was important to set that up first so that I can go into stop seeking validation from everybody. So the 4 things that people with high self-worth have is, number 1, they understand where mistakes fit in the big picture. They don't get caught up in the trappings of life. They have things and it's great for them. Some people might not like it. That's okay. Number 3 is they don't chase happiness. They don't chase it. They are happy, but they don't chase it. They realize that it's a part of who they are. In fact, you may call that a high emotional intelligence. And then number 4, they take responsibility for how they feel. They don't put it off on somebody else needs to make me feel good. Somebody else needs to make me feel better. Somebody else. Because all of a sudden you'll become somebody else instead of yourself. So let's keep going. So now the meat, this is the good part of the conversation right here. How to stop seeking validation. Now, we all enjoy a pat on the back, right? We all enjoy kudos when you do something right or when you accomplish a goal. Everybody loves that, right? It validates our thoughts and our actions, and it boosts our confidence to continue achieving our dreams, our goals, our aspirations, our ambitions. Obtaining validation from your parents, from your friends, social media is okay unless you seek outside validation constantly, unless you need that in order to survive, to thrive. That's when it becomes unhealthy. That's when it becomes an issue. So tonight I want to help you understand how to stop seeking validation. All right. See, obtaining validation from all those people I talked about, parents, friends, social media, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But it should not be everything to you. See, if you do need approval of others, of outside forces, to feel better about your choices, it's time for you to stop right now. Put a stake in the ground and learn how you can trust yourself and gain self-confidence. And this is what I want you to look. I want everybody that's listening tonight here to understand how to gain trust in themselves, gain self-confidence, and to start thinking better of themselves. Start telling themselves that they can. Quit telling themselves that they can't. Start telling themselves that they're good enough. Quit telling themselves that they're not ready. Start telling themselves, I'm already worthy. Not I'm trying to be worthy. I don't know if I'm ever going to be worthy. No, you're already worthy because it's already been spoken. So now let's dive into these 9 things. And, hey, folks, I want to hear some interaction. I want to have some engagement from you to talk about these things. Okay. So now let's keep going. Number one on how to stop seeking external validation. Ask yourself, why do you seek approval from others? Why? I don't remember ever sitting and worrying about what other people are going to think about me. Because here's the way I look at it. Some people are going to like you because of who you are. But some people are not going to like you because of who you are. And it's okay. It's totally okay. They have a choice. They made their choice, and you let them live with that choice. But you have to ask yourself, why do you seek other people's validation? See, understanding why you need validation from others are going to help you in taking the necessary steps to grow in confidence. Many times, your need for approval comes from your past, because you needed mommy or daddy's approval, because you needed grandma or grandpa's approval, because you needed uncles or auntie's approval, because you needed your cousin, your spouse, your significant other, whoever. A lot of times it comes from your past. But it's time to grow up now. It's time to put all of that stuff away. You are grown folk now, like the old people used to say. So take some time to ask questions and reflect on the answers. The other part of this one is you got to stop listening to yourself and start talking to yourself. I'm going to say that again. You have to stop listening to yourself and start talking to yourself. You see, what happens is when you listen to yourself, that's when, that little, I don't need you guys call it the devil's advocate. I don't need a devil to advocate for me. So I don't have devil advocate in my life, but you have that little thing on your shoulder and you're listening and saying, Cedrick, you're not good enough. You're going to fail. You're not ready for that. What makes me think I can do that? See, you're listening to all of that stuff. You're worried, you're tossing and turning, you can't sleep at night because you're worried that the project is not going to go well. You're worried that you're not going to get the promotion. You're worried that your manager's not going to like it. You're worried that somebody's not going to like something. You got to stop that. And you got to start talking to yourself. Start telling yourself that I'm good enough. I'm ready. I'm able. This is why when a boxer is starting to work out, they get in that mirror and they start boom, 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 jabbing, because they need to see it. And they start feeling good about themselves and they're talking to themselves all along the way. When you're working out and you start looking in the mirror and you're seeing, whoa, I'm looking good. I'm looking buffed up. Man, you see, you start telling yourself that good stuff. You may be running and you start saying, oh, I can go another mile. I'm good. I'm ready to go another 2 miles. I'm good. It may be you're working on a project and you start telling yourself, wow, I got my second win. I'm doing really good I was working on a presentation this afternoon from, about 2 o'clock all the way to about 5:30, working on this presentation. And then start telling myself, wow, I'm getting close to the end. I almost got it perfect. I almost have it right where I want to be. So you start talking to yourself. You start pumping yourself up. Start feeling good about yourself. So quit listening to yourself and start talking to yourself. Ask yourself, why do you seek other people's validation? You don't need it. Stop it. As of today, February 14, 2022, stop it. I just want you to type that in the comments. I'm going to type it myself in the comments. Stop it. You don't need that. You don't need other people's validation. Just type in, stop it. Right? Now, I typed it in the comments. Now let's keep going. It's time for you to type it in the comments. Number 2, how to stop seeking validation. You got to list things you think you're bad at. List them out. You can hear it. I mean, you know what you think you are. Sometimes we get caught up in a cycle of feeling like we can't do anything right. Right. This leads us to seek out outside approval. Right. We got to take some time to write down everything you think you're bad at, even if it's small. Review it and then determine to work on one item. Write them down. You may have 10 on the list. Just write them all out. But then you got to agree to work on one of those things. See, then once you accomplish that, pick another one and get good at that. And once you get good at that one, then you pick another one. And when you get good at that one, what do? You pick another one. Each time you master a new thing, you grow in confidence. You start getting better. You see, there was a old mule that fell in this hole, and the farmer went there and saw that the mule was stuck in a hole, and the farmer was like, well, I guess the mule's gonna really get stuck there, and he's gonna die there. He's not gonna get out because I can't get him out. Well, he started just the farmer started throwing dirt down there on the mule, right? But the mule, every time dirt would come and get on the mule's back, the mule would shake it off. And the farmer just kept throwing dirt down in the hole, kept throwing dirt down in the hole, and the mule would every time shake it off. The farmer thought he was burying the mule, but the mule was like, I'm gonna shake it off. He was shaking it off his back, and as he was shaking it off his back, and the farmer was putting in more dirt, he was coming up higher and higher, higher and higher. Eventually, he was out of that hole. But you see, because the mule decided that, oh no, it's not over for me yet. You may think it's over for me, but it's not over yet. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this dirt off my back. I'm going to get those things that I can't do off my back. I'm going to put them on this list, and then I'm going to work on them one by one. And when I get good at one, I'm going to move on to the next one. When I get good at that one, I'm going to move on to the next one. When I get good at that one, I'm going to move on to the next one. And see, every time you're building your confidence, you're getting stronger, you're getting faster, you're getting better, you're getting wiser. Whoo, man, all of a sudden now you have a whole newfound confidence. You are a new person because now those 10 things that you were bad at, those 10 things that you couldn't do well, all of a sudden, boom, now you can do them well because you gained confidence in yourself. You decided to work on them. You shook that dirt off your back and you got on up out of that hole and you start feeling good about yourself. Now, ooh, man, y'all getting me all excited here tonight already. It's Valentine's Day. I'm supposed to be taking it easy. All right, so let's go here. Number 3 on how to stop seeking outside validation is one, we have to focus on positive actions that you take, right? You got to boost your confidence. Write down 5 to 7 things you accomplished today. Just tonight before you go to bed. Just write down 5 to 7 things that you accomplished today. Now, think about the time that you got up this morning. It could have been at 4, 5, 6 o'clock this morning, right? Think about your whole day until this very moment. Just write down 5 to 7 things that you accomplished today, no matter how big or small they are, right? You don't have to move the earth to have successful accomplishments. It takes small incremental steps every day. The only difference between hot water and boiling water is 1 degree. You see, at 211 degrees, water is hot. At 212 degrees, water boils. With boiling water comes steam. With steam, you can power a train. It only takes 1 degree. So write down 5 to 7 things that you accomplished today, no matter what size they are. So, for example, maybe you met your water intake goal for the day. Maybe you met your step goal for the day. Maybe you handled a disgruntled customer graciously today. Maybe you cleaned up the kitchen today. Maybe you're going to clean up the kitchen today after dinner. But each one of those items shifts your thinking from negative to positive. So you got to write them down. Each one of them are going to shift your thinking from negative to positive. Write them down. Write them down. Write them down. And then focus on them. Write them down and then focus on them. Right? Number 4. Number 4 is really good, folks. I really like number 4. Are you ready for it? Let me tell you what number 4 is. You got to break the habit of asking for validation. See, before you ask for confirmation and validation from others, pause for a second. Wait a minute. Hold on. Stop the presses. I don't need it. Do you genuinely need their opinion? Ask yourself that. Do I genuinely need somebody else's opinion on this? What would you tell them if the roles were reversed? See, typically what happens when you doling out advice, you're telling people, you don't need to worry about somebody else's opinion. You don't need validation from somebody else. See, we tell other people this, but we don't do it. You have to do a better job at it, folks. I'm telling you. See, when you wait a moment, when you get ready to ask that question, or go seek that validation from somebody else. If you wait a moment, just pause for a second and consult yourself. You strengthen your confidence and your self-trust. You strengthen your confidence and your self-trust. In other words, you start feeling better about yourself. You know that you already have the answer. You know that you already know what's the right thing to do. You just have to pause for a moment before you move forward. Don't even go ask for that person for that. If it just makes you feel better because you're going to wean yourself back from this, make your decision, go do it, and then come back and ask someone, hey, what do you think about this? Just to see. But if you do it up front, it's because you're trying to seek validation. You don't need that validation, right? Let's keep going. Well, let me share the first four that I share with you. How to stop seeking validation from other people. Number one, ask yourself, why do you seek approval from other people? Number two, list the things that you're bad at and then work on them to get better, one at a time. As you finish one, work on the other one to get better at that. Number three, focus on the positive actions that you take. I told you to write down, that's number three, write down 5 to 7 things that you accomplished today, no matter how big or small. And number four, break the habit of asking for validation. When you get ready to go ask somebody for something, pause for a moment and ask, do I really need that? Do I really need their opinion on this? I'm already more experienced at this. I already understand what I need to do. I already know more than they're going to know on this. So why should I seek that? Now let's keep going. Number 5, look at rejection as a way to grow. You see, this one is hard for people, especially entrepreneurs. When they hear the word no, they get all down on themselves and, oh my God, I shouldn't be in this business. I should quit. I'm not good enough. I can't do it. My customer told me no. No, that doesn't mean that. Look at rejection as a way to grow. So you got to look internal though. What did I do wrong to make that customer say no to me? What information did I not provide to them to make them say no? Look at yourself, but don't look at it as rejection. Each incident in your life, whether good or bad, provides an opportunity for growth. You got to consider a time when you disappointed your boss or your partner. How did you recover from that situation? And if you're in the corporate world, you can't let things get you down because you're going to be no good to the organization, right? So think about when you let someone down, what did you learn from it? Now, using disapproval as feedback shows you how you're growing and moving forward. Let me say that again. Using disapproval as feedback shows you how you're growing and how you're moving forward. You see, there's a difference right there, right? Yeah, Natasha says reflection versus rejection. Absolutely agree with that. And Misha said sometimes that client was just not part of your market niche. That's right. You have to understand that. I agree with you 100%, right? You have to understand that, and Damien says disapproval equals feedback. And you have to understand that feedback helps you grow, helps you know where you can move forward, how fast you can move forward, and where you need to detour and change a few things. I like sometimes when a customer says no. You know why? Because here's what it does for me. It tells me some things that I need to do. And now I got to show them why they have to say yes. Ooh, and that's the fun part of being an entrepreneur. That's the fun part of sales, is helping somebody understand that, oh, they're going to say yes. You just got to help them in that. See, what you do is you give them what they want on your terms. Give them what you want, what they want on your terms. So let's keep going. Number 6. I absolutely love number 6. And let me put number 6 on the screen here. Make personal growth a priority. This is where a lot of people go wrong. They don't look at personal growth as something as a priority in their life. They're always putting it off for another day. They're always putting it off for something else. They're always putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. There's a whole lot of people at the Super Bowl last night. They paid all that money for that ticket. They were at a Super Bowl party last night. But if I tell them today, hey, I have a class for you. I have a mastermind for you. I have some training that I want to do for you. Oh, I can't do it. This, that, the other, my left toe is hurt, and all this foolishness that they come up with. Make personal growth a priority. Don't go make the NFL rich. Don't go make Beyonce rich. Don't go, to making Amazon rich. Take that money and make it personal growth for yourself. If you don't have a personal growth goal to take a class to make you better this year, something's wrong with your plan. Right? See, choosing to continue growing as a person and learning from your mistakes frees you from the need for other people's approval. Focus on pushing forward. Pushing forward, knowing you may make a mistake or two. It's okay. Then learn from it and grow in your confidence. But make personal growth a priority in your life. And I can tell folks who don't make personal growth a priority in their life. I can tell when people don't make personal growth a priority in their life. You know why? Because today in 2022, they think the same way they thought in 1985. They think the same way they thought in 2000. They think the same way they thought in 2020. They think the same old things. And let me tell you what, folks, as long as you're living, things are changing. Things are either moving forward or they're moving backwards, but they're never standing still, except for a human being who's not taking personal growth serious, who does not have a plan for personal growth in their life, who is not prioritizing personal growth in their life. And they wonder why my business is not growing. They wonder why I can't get a promotion. They wonder why I can't get a job. They wonder all of these things because they're not growing. That's simple. Because they're not growing. They're sitting still. It's just like sitting at a red light and the light changes to green and you're still sitting there. That's what it's like. Other people are going to come and pass you up. Somebody may crash into you, but ultimately they're going to get around you. You're standing still, just sitting there. Let's keep on moving here. Number 7, and coming up here in just a few minutes, we're going to have Shatanya Chapman. Eating Healthy with Shatanya is always a very good segment, and we had a really good segment. We have a really good segment planned for you today. So number 7 is turn off social media. Now, wait a minute, not right now. Right now, after a while, in another 30 minutes, you can turn it off. Right? But right now, you sit right here. So, see, social media overstimulates our brains with constant flow of idealistic images, right? And that's true. But if you're using social media in the right way, it can be beneficial to you. So I don't want to just throw it out there and just say turn it off totally and get away from it. I'm not a person that believes social media is bad for you. I believe that social media has a lot of good things to offer. And let me tell you what, none of us want to live without social media. Right? There are bad things that are going to happen in your life, and that's because you let bad things happen in your life. I've been on social media since it started, and I've not had any bad things happen. If you focus on that, then that's what's going to come to you. I don't put that type stuff out in the universe, so that's not coming to me. If you don't measure up, you may struggle with feeling like you didn't obtain the numbers that you want. When you're looking for validation in social media from that post you got, how many people liked it, how many people didn't, how many people interacted, all of that type stuff. You put it out there and whatever happens. You got to enjoy a break sometimes. Read a book, accomplish a goal, do something with others. All of those things are important to help you stop seeking outside validation. Let's keep going on number 8. Stop playing the comparison game. This one right here kills a lot of people's dreams. Number 8, I'm telling you right now, number 8 kills a lot of people's dreams. I want you to know you are unique. You have talents and skills that are all your own. If I told everybody to close their eyes right now, like I have my eyes closed, if I said just keep your eyes closed for 5 seconds, 1001. Now, while you have your eyes closed, I want you to dream your biggest dream. Whatever your big dream is going to the beach, is living in Maui, it's flying in a jet, it's whatever. Your wildest dream, 1002. Just dream your wildest dream, 1003. Keep dreaming your wildest dream, 1004. Keep dreaming your biggest dream, 1005. Now open up your eyes. Now, if I told you to write in comments the dream of other people who are online right now, just type in a comment what their dream is. Well, first of all, you're going to say, well, what people are online? The next thing you're going to say, even if you knew what people, you're going to say, I don't know what they were dreaming. Yeah, you know why? Because it wasn't your dream. It was their dream. It was given to them. It's not meant for you to see. And it's not meant for them to see your dream. It's meant for you to have your own dream. It's meant for you. It wasn't meant for somebody else. And I'm going to tell you this. It may hurt your feelings, but I'm just telling you. Big Mama don't have to see your dream. Now, you love Big Mama. She good. Everybody got a Big Mama. Some people got a Medea, right? It wasn't their dream. It wasn't your mama's dream. It wasn't your daddy's dream. It's not your uncle's dream. It's not your wife's dream, your husband's dream, your significant other's dream, your cousin's dream, your Aunt Bessie, your Uncle Bubba, your cousin Skeeter. It's not their dream. It's your dream. So you don't have to worry about if they see it or not, if they like it or not. It doesn't matter if they like it or not. You have to live your dream because God gave it to you, not them. When you go to the pearly gates, he's not going to say, how well did you live Aunt Bessie's dream? How well did you live Big Mama's dream? He's going to ask you, how well did you do with the skills and the talent that I gave you and your dream? That's what you're going to have to answer for. So stop doing a comparison game, comparing now how you're doing to this person and how that person is doing to that person and all that type of stuff. See, that's one of the things that I don't sit around and do is compare what am I doing in my business to what somebody else is doing in their business, or what they can't do in their business, what I can do in my business, or vice versa. That's the game of losers. That's the game that's going to get you to fail in your goals, because you're going to be so focused on what somebody else is doing or not doing, and you're not going to be focused on yours. So you are unique. You have skills, you have talents that are all your own. Instead of comparing yourself to others, learn to accept who you are while looking to the future and where you'd like to be. It's a tricky balance, folks. I understand that. It's a very tricky balance. But it's worth the effort to build your confidence. And when you focus on you, you're going to build your own self-confidence. When you focus on you, you're going to build your own self-confidence. When you focus on you, you're going to build your own self-confidence. When you focus on you, you're going to build your own self-confidence. You're going to know that you can do it. You're going to know that you're good enough. You're going to know that you're already ready. Now, let me go ahead and go to number 9 and round this out. Number 9, accept yourself for who you are. Ooh, now that one right there, folks, you should write it down, hang it up on your mirror so you can see it first thing tomorrow morning. Accept yourself for who you are. What makes you happy? Seek out those things that increase your happiness and stop worrying about what other people think. This will be challenging, folks, but it's a great confidence booster as you build your self-esteem. Stop worrying about what somebody else think about you. I got a lot of friends out there. I have a lot of people that like me. But guess what? There's about an equal number of people that don't like me. And it's okay. You have to know that. You have to understand that not everybody is supposed to like you. That just is. It is what it is. Not everybody is supposed to like you. Not everybody is gonna like you. Amen, Tracy. Not everybody is gonna like you. And guess what? So most of them that don't like you, they don't even know what reason why they don't like you. All they know is you're so doggone good, they can't stand it. So they're busy. Here's what happens. You'll see it. They're so busy hating you, they can't love on themselves. Let me say that again. They're so busy hating you that they can't love on themselves. They're so busy hating somebody else as well that they can't love on themselves. All they can see is you're so good that I can't like him. I can't possibly like that person. He's so good. Why is it that he has all of this stuff? Why is it that he keeps doing this? Why is it that people they keep asking all those questions instead of start focusing and worrying about themselves? You see, if they spent more time worried about their own happiness, if they spent more time less seeking out validation from other people, if they spent more time stop the comparison game, if they spent more time feeling good about themselves, they won't have time to feel bad about somebody else. And they're going to learn to, when somebody asks them how they doing, do like I do and say, I'm always great. So know, folks, that there are going to be people that like you and people that don't like you. That's just a fact of life. No matter how friendly you are, no matter how good you are, you have to understand that, and it's okay. I see you, Fred, out there. It's okay that they have that feeling about you. You just have to keep going on and being yourself. And let me tell you what being yourself is about. If you can add value to other people, treat other people well, be honest and authentic with people, that's all you need. You don't need outside validation. You don't need people to love on you all day long and love everybody got to sing your praises. You don't need that. You just have to be yourself. And when you add value to other people, you treat people honestly and authentically, then you're going to be good. Ooh, man, I got to bring up Shatanya. She's about to come on the show with Healthy Eating with Shatanya. I'm so excited to have her on the show again tonight. It's always good when she's here, and we're going to have her on the show. So give me a second here. Let me transition over to and bring Shatanya here on the screen, and I'm just excited. Just a second. Well, hello there, Miss Shatanya. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
You know, I'm always doing great. And I'm doing even better when it's the second Monday of the month because I know what's going to happen. We're going to have some healthy eating with Shatanya. So I'm excited to have you back on the show. And folks, I want you to remember every second Monday of the month, Healthy Eating with Shatanya segment will be on. So make sure you tell people that need some healthy eating tips to tune in. And Shatanya, this month is Heart Month, right?
Right.
So you're going to be talking a lot about and giving some tips on healthy eating, things that can help your heart. So we will just get started. I'm going to try to make a heart some kind of way. All right, perfect. So tell us what's so good about healthy eating during Heart Month.
Well, let me just start off about giving just a little background with heart disease. So, of course, we know that heart disease is the leading cause of death among men and women, especially women. With women, it's the number one killer with women. Okay. And it also each year your heart disease contributes to 1/4 of deaths.
Oh, wow.
So, and about $363 billion is contribute to heart disease. So that's a lot of money when we speaking of, not taking care of our heart and we spending all the dollars to make sure that We don't have heart attacks or strokes. So, and then there are several risk factors that leads to heart disease, such as diabetes, being overweight, poor eating habits, being physical inactive, and excessive alcohol use. So those are several risk factors that play into um, leading up to heart disease. So how can we make lifestyle changes for a healthy heart? So I'm gonna get into that. So the first thing is, Cedric, is we want to eat foods that are nutrient dense. And I know you hear me talk about this. Seems like every time I come on, I'm talking about, eating foods that are nutrient dense. But like I said before, eating is medicine. So food is medicine to us, just like we take medication to treat certain disease. Well, food is can also be medicine for our bodies as well. We want to eat at least 5 servings of fruits and or vegetables, and like I said the last time, eating a rainbow of colors, because the deeper the color, the more nutrient dense that fruit or vegetable is going to be, because it adds a lot of benefits to our bodies with certain nutrients. The next thing is adding whole grains to your lifestyle. We want to add whole grains because how whole grains benefit us is it's going to add fiber to us. And of course, we know that fiber regulates, it's going to keep us regulated. Also, fiber is going to help with our blood cholesterol. And cholesterol is another factor that contributes to heart disease or stroke or heart attack. And also, by eating a high fiber diet or foods that are whole grains, it can also give us a sense of fullness. So we won't eat so much. The next thing is limit your saturated fats. Of course, we like to eat out and go to fast food restaurants and eat those high fatty foods. But we want to limit our saturated fats to no more than 10% of our caloric plan. Okay. So all the cakes and pies, that we had during the holidays, we want to try to start limiting it now, and throughout the rest of the year. And then also adding more of your unsaturated fats, your polyunsaturated fats and your monounsaturated fats. With the, whenever you cook, using olive oil or canola oil, corn oil, peanut oil, those are your more healthier fats. And then also foods that are rich in omega 3s, like salmon, trout, herring, mackerel, those type of foods that are rich in omega 3s, and then also omega 6s. So those two, the omega 3s and omega 6, they are good for heart health, and also they're good for eye health as well. I just learned that one. And then we want to get active. That's the biggest thing. We have to stay active. Staying active at least 3 times a week for 30 minutes. If you're losing weight, if you're trying to maintain your weight, then you increase it to an hour. Okay. And then trying to maintain your weight, you can, maintain your weight through a healthy lifestyle, being physically active, cutting back on the high saturated foods, the high sodium foods, cutting back on all of those things. And if you are a smoker, then try to quit smoking. Smoking plays a big part in cardiovascular disease, controlling your blood pressure. If you have blood pressure problems, we want to try to control your blood pressure, and also drinking alcohol in moderation, and then making sure that you manage your stress, because I know with everything that's going on right now, our stress level is on a high. So, and, things you can manage stress, just taking a walk. If you are working, every now and again, take your walk, stretch while you're working, do some yoga, do some meditation, but, trying to manage that stress level.
Well, those are all great tips, all great things. Now it's about how to get all that in, right? Uh,
I mean, it's just all a part of our lifestyle. It's just, trying to live a healthy lifestyle, not only for the heart, but, for all your chronic diseases, just trying to, take those preventative measures.
sure. And for your long-term health also for,
Exactly.
yeah. And sometimes it won't catch up with you when you're younger. It starts catching up with you later on in life.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So let me run in my kitchen right now and throw out all those pies and cakes and treats.
Well, notice I said limit. You want
Yeah,
to limit your saturated fats. So yeah. So everything is in moderation. I'm gonna always say that everything is in moderation and portion control. Not
sure.
unless you are, diagnosed with a certain chronic disease. Then that's when you're looking into, okay, what foods do I have to limit in order to, preserve your life, in order to preserve your health.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So, and I like that you say in moderation, but
Mhm.
let's talk about that part a little bit, why that's so important. And let me clarify. I know sometimes people say, well, I'm going to do it cold turkey.
Mhm.
And they do it cold turkey for a short period of time and then
Right.
it creeps back in. So, why do you keep emphasizing moderation?
I emphasize it because whenever you, let's say, if let's say I like chips. So I eat chips in moderation because if I cut back completely on it, then of course, if I'm trying to lose weight, I'm going to start losing weight because that is something that I eat every day and maybe, 2 and 3 times a day. So by eliminating something from your diet plan, then you're going to start losing the weight. So, eating those things that you love to eat, you can eat it in moderation. So that way it can still be in your diet plan. And, and then, while you're trying to manage your weight, then you can manage your weight because you're only eating it in moderation. Every now and again, let's say, if I'm eating chips maybe twice a month or maybe 3 times a month, then it's fine.
That's
And then
strong moderation.
yeah, 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 but and then also if you have a bag of chips,
Hmm.
another definition of immoderation. If you have a bag of chips, now you have the big bags, whether you go to the store and you see, the grab bags by the cash register. That's
Hmm.
what gets you. They have all of your junk foods right by the cash register, and you grabbing it because you're hungry. And that's something that we tell people: do not go to the store hungry. Make sure you are well nourished and have food on your in your system. But you don't have to eat that whole bag. You can eat half of the bag. That's another moderation. Eat half the bag instead of the whole bag. Or if you're drinking, a pop, don't drink the whole 20-ounce soda. Drink some of it. Don't drink it all. So that's another form of eating, high fatty foods or high sugary foods in moderation.
Yeah, I do like the idea of not having to drink a whole can of soda. I'm not a big soda drinker, but every now and then I'll have a craving for a Coke, and
Right.
I only have not even a whole can,
Hmm.
just to get that flavor. And then I'm done. And it reminds me, I was on a flight, and the flight attendant asked, "Do you want the whole can, or do you just want just a little cup?"
Right.
And in those circumstances, I was, "Oh no, just give me the little cup."
Yeah.
Versus that whole can. So the month of well, this month is all about heart health, and so what other things can people do to help their nutrition? Like I like that you gave some examples of saturated fats of pies and cakes, and unsaturated fats, cooking with olive oil and corn oils and omega 3s, normally like salmon.
Hmm.
Um, what are some other examples in those categories that people can use to either cook with or eat instead of?
So when I spoke about whole grains, you can incorporate like your breads, making sure that you are purchasing your whole wheat bread and making sure that your first ingredient says whole grain. um, with rice. You can do brown rice. I know a lot of people don't like brown rice, but I think it's all in the preparation method of brown rice. So you can prepare brown rice instead of the white rice. And don't get me wrong, white rice is not bad. It's how we prepare it and what we put on our rice. That's what makes it fatty. With when we smothering some meat and with the gravy. The gravy is what makes the rice fattening. And also your noodles, using the whole grain noodles. And then also um, whenever you're snacking, you can snack on nuts, like almonds, walnuts, uh, pistachios, and I hope I said that right.
Yeah, we
Those
got it.
different, yeah, those different nuts that that are high in omega 3s. Yes, omega 3s. It's either omega 3s or omega 6. So I'm gonna say both of them. So somebody will come back. Well, she said it was omega 3 when it's this one. So, but yeah, it's either one. So you can do nuts as a snack. And then um, by adding fruits. We talked about fruits last week.
Mhm.
Fruits and vegetables for a snack instead of eating the high saturated snacks like cakes and pies and cookies. While you're sitting at your desk working, you can do more of your healthier snacks,
Nice.
and just making sure that you are eating a balanced meal, eating from the plate. Making sure you have your dairy, your protein, your fruit, your vegetable, and your grains. Just making sure you're eating a balanced meal and not, a big old plate of meal, but the right portion size
Nice.
and portioning your foods.
Yeah, that's the key right there, because you can have fruit, but you have a big tub of fruit
Right.
that can kill your sugars.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's
a lot of people, they eat a lot of fruit, and, say, okay, well, fruit is not fattening, but also what you have to realize that fruit have calories.
right.
So the more fruit you eat, you're still getting the calories.
Mhm.
So if let's say if your caloric plan is only 1,800 calories a day, and you're constantly eating fruit, because fruit is also portioned.
Mhm.
Like, I'm gonna say grapes. I always use grapes. Sometimes people just, take grapes, and you might be watching TV and you just eating your grapes. But the right portion size for grapes is 17 grapes. So anytime I eat grapes, I count them out. I really do.
Oh,
I really do. I count them out. And just like, like with fruits like apples, oranges, bananas, you want to try to get the more, smaller apples and your oranges. See, like I have an apple here today, and my little apple is small.
That is a small little. My grandmother used to call those tight apples.
Yeah, so it's it's all in portioning your food. So and balancing, making sure you are really eating a balanced meal, and then try to get some green vegetables in, because your green vegetables have it's really nutrient dense with those green vegetables. You're getting some calcium um, with your green vegetables. And I don't know if people realize, but not only can you get calcium from your dairy products, but also your green vegetables. And as women, we need calcium for our bones, and not just women but men too.
Yes.
Calcium plays a big part with your bone health.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So heart health is the focus for this month, and we know that no one can live without their hearts.
Oh no. The biggest muscle is that heart.
Yes. So we need to make sure that we are taking care of it. We need to make sure that we limit our saturated fats and add in more unsaturated fats. Make sure that we get our whole grains. Make sure that we are eating five servings of fruits and vegetables every day, and get in our exercise by trying to be active at least 3 times per week for 30 minutes. Stop smoking.
Mhm.
I know it's hard, it's addicting, but it's definitely worth it. Manage your stress. Shatanya says by taking a walk, doing some yoga, doing some meditation. All those things can help you be heart healthy. When you eat those grapes, only 17. You can't be 18 or 19. It's 17 grapes, all right? So
Yes.
I
Yes.
like that. So, audience, if you have comments, you have something that you'd like Shatanya to address on our next segment, make sure you put it in the comments and send us a message, and we'll make sure we get that in. As always, the second Monday of the month, it's going to be Healthy Eating with Shatanya. So thank you guys very much for tuning in tonight. I'm excited about another segment of Healthy Eating with Shatanya. So thank you guys, and make sure you have a good evening. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Great segment with Shatanya. Hey, folks, we're going to wrap up this evening. Hopefully, you had a good time. Hopefully, you have a happy Valentine's. If you don't have a Valentine's by now, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. A Talk Leadership with Cedrick. We can focus on a whole lot of things. We can help you understand how to feel better about yourself, how to feel good about the things that you're doing, how to have high self-worth, how to stop looking for validation from other people. But I can't get you a Valentine's. You got to find that and get that on your own. All right. So remember, next Monday we'll be here again, 6:30 Central Time. We're here every Monday. We'll be having a great guest on next week. Tomorrow night is Tuesday. Tune in to the Empowered Living Show and hear us on Black Entrepreneurs Institute live. And folks, as I always tell you, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu, and don't be on the menu. Thank you guys, and have a good night. We'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.